welcome to another week of ProMAX Tech Talks. I'm Matt, coming to you live from the Living Room Laboratory, and as always, I'm joined by my tech team. So for the past few weeks, we've been talking about how to manage footage in a remote environment, and today we're going to be talking about how to collect footage in a remote world. To share his company's approach on how they're doing this, we'd like to welcome Patrick Foust from APCO Worldwide. Patrick, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what APCO does?
Thanks for having me on. I'm Patrick Foust. I'm a video editor and producer at APCO Worldwide. We are a full-scale creative communication consultancy located here in Washington, D.C. I sit on our relatively small studio team, mostly producing videos and consulting with clients, helping them achieve their strategic objectives through video.
Cool. So how has AppGo adjusted to not being able to go on site and collect footage during the COVID crisis?
Yeah, so, COVID has really thrown everything for a huge loop, especially in our industry, and now things are sort of starting to relax. But for a long time, we were having to coach clients through capturing video themselves using primarily their mobile devices, because everyone has one, right? And so that's kind of like the lowest common denominator that you have to work with most people. So what we did is we developed a one-sheeter that we shared with our clients, and we posted on our blog and have been kind of circulating around on LinkedIn and things like that. That basically just walks people through the most simple ways you can set up your phone to capture the highest quality video. So that's from, the actual technical settings on your phone that you can switch to, what kind of background you want to use, what kind of microphone, if you have access to a microphone. You want to be in a particularly quiet setting and not get interrupted and things like that. So, we've had to really adjust the way we coach people through filming themselves in the absence of, being able to send people remotely off site.
I'm curious, how did people respond to that? Did they follow the steps, and did that make a big difference in the footage that you were getting from those individuals that you sent that to?
Yeah, well, that gets to, I guess, the efficacy of our efforts there. And I'd say we'd have, kind of mixed results. Some people did follow through, and I think, there's sort of a generational gap. I hate to say, people who have kind of are digital natives kind of get it and know how to change these settings and follow the instructions really well. But then there are people like my parents who I'm still coaching through how to, print from their printer. And those people have a little bit more trouble following the instructions step by step. So we've gotten some mixed results, but all in all, I think everyone understands that we live in this time frame where we don't have as much control, and users and viewers online really understand that as well. So if you do get something that's a little bit low fidelity, then you can still work with it. I think we've realized now that the quality of footage, as more and more people are shooting on their phones and their mobile devices, the quality it can be lower in quality, but people are still forgiving of that. Yeah. Where we've found people are less forgiving is with audio. So that's where we've really had to kind of stick our feet in the ground and make sure people deliver the best possible result.
You wished everybody that you're working with could just nail one aspect of this thing. What would it be? Would it be the audio side, or would it be what would make your life the easiest?
It's got to be audio or lighting is my guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely audio, I think, is number one. I had a film professor once tell me that, filmmaking is 90% audio, and I've found that to be very true throughout my career. Like I said, viewers online, especially online with digital media, right? Viewers are a lot more forgiving of those kinds of things. They're more forgiving of video quality, right. Lower video quality than they are of audio quality. As soon as you get a crappy audio track, they'll tune it out immediately. So that's where, people are adapting by adding more on-screen text elements to get over that. Not to mention the fact that, a lot of people are watching videos with sound turned off now.
Yeah. Curious, Patrick, were you able to get good usable audio from somebody that just used their phone, or was that just doors shut, if you're not using some kind of external microphone with your phone, it's not going to be usable.
With audio, like even with a cell phone, even if the cell phone is good enough, probably one of the biggest things is like making sure that the background audio is in check before you start doing.
Yeah, I am totally breaking all the rules. Oh God! But if I turn it off, he would kill me. So I gotta leave him.
Well,
but it's interesting.
priorities.
I mean, that's kind of your point. So you're breaking all the rules, but like I can see and hear you clearly.
Mm-hmm.
So like even though like we're actually like video professionals, but this content isn't about wowing anybody. This is about conversation. This is about education. This is about thought.
Yeah.
So in that context, I can see you perfectly fine. I can hear you perfectly fine. There may be, I'm an audio geek, so there may be a little bit more room in your voice than I prefer. But I don't care because that's not, I'm not trying to be wowed by the look and feel of this piece of content. I just need the clarity.
Right. Yeah. And I'd say clarity is key, right? I mean, even outside of this context, outside of Zoom, we're not expecting to get the best, most clearest quality from simply your iPhone. There are ways that we instruct people when they're filming themselves to get better quality. So to go into a quiet room, turn off any HVAC system if they can, make sure there are no interruptions, like your dog's automatic feeder going off for me right now. And, there are definitely things that you can do to improve the quality and like sitting close to the phone, right? So you're minimizing the distance, you get less of that echo effect. But then there are also tools you can purchase online. A lot of them are back ordered now, unfortunately, but lav mics that clip in directly to your phone so you can get slightly better quality audio. But yeah, I mean, we're not expecting the world of people. We're not expecting people to become, professional sound mixers just because of COVID.
I'm curious how, how much there's a little bit of a kind of a good thing for, legitimate video editors, video and audio professionals, where it's like, that's a lot of like cleanup work. That's like, audio restoration has been a huge thing for years. And it's almost like, what plugins and tools may be created to, be able to clean up a lot of that stuff and, in a way that only a professional can, and you wouldn't expect the end user to be able to do.
Right. And I mean, we can try to do that on our end. I think a lot of straight video editors are not, they're not specialists in audio mixing and sound quality perfection. So, I'm not going to be able to clean up something that's total garbage. And I don't think, no one can really do that, right? I mean,
No.
You can only work with what you got. And if something is just completely garbage, then it's there's no redeemable quality to it at all. There's only things that we can do to kind of like put a Band-Aid, Band-Aid on a bullet hole there.
I mean, there was when I was doing the production stuff, there was no faster way to just can a shot than if, the mic was screwed up or, somebody was ruffling their shirt the whole time or, like that. Pretty much as soon as that happened, unless there was a secondary audio source that was worth anything, it was like, Even if the shot's awesome, can't use it.
And I mean, like in this context, right, in Zoom meetings, like it's all kind of forgivable. We all kind of know that like we're not going to be able to keep our pets away from the camera or, any sort of other kind of distractions.
Yeah.
But, I think whatever you can do to improve it, you should be trying to do that.
Yeah.
So eventually we're all going to be let out of our houses and be able to get back to life as we know it. Where do you guys think you'll draw the line of like sending out a professional, like your actual production team to go film something on site versus having someone just record something on your phone?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it remains to be seen, right? Even before COVID, the COVID crisis, clients have been wanting us to be as efficient as possible with our resources. And sometimes when you're hiring professional video crews, it can get really expensive really fast, especially when you're talking about like multiple days and cameras, you know, you really want like the high-end camera package, you want a professional sound mixer on set and location producers, et cetera, it gets really, really expensive. So a lot of our clients have been requesting, you know, can we just shoot it on an iPhone? And, you know, I think our industry has been very hesitant to give in to that kind of sentiment for a long time. But now, as you know, mobile phones become better and better, and you know, you can get really good quality images with an iPhone, for example. I think we are starting to invest a little bit more in our mobile device camera package. So we recently bought a rig on B-Script and a tripod and lav mics and all different kinds of, you know, equipment to kind of build out our package there. So I think we're going to be a bit better equipped in the future to do that and just be a little bit more efficient. And so, you know, it all just depends on your budget. That's what it comes down to.
What are some, so when you do have somebody shoot on the phones and you know, or themselves or however they do it, what are some of the challenges about like getting the data and actually like getting it out of their phone and into your hands? Like, what do you run into in that side?
Yeah, so I just recently working on a project. I had a lot of people send me video directly from their phone. So they've emailed it via Outlook or whatever email program. And I think I've found, I don't know if this is technically true or not, but a phenomenon that I've kind of discovered is that these programs will automatically downscale your video files. So I've gotten a lot of clips directly from people's camera phones that have been, you know, like 960 by 540 or even smaller than that, really low quality, just, you know, really can't work with no matter what. So I think a workaround or to improve that, or, you know, to get around that, is to send them a Dropbox link. Dropbox has really good like collaborative features. You can just send them a link to a shared folder and they can upload it directly from their phone. I've had success there. You know, any type of file uploading service, cloud storage service, I think will work there.
Yeah, just going from the original file, not going through some mediary program like email or something like that.
Yeah.
And how many people still insist on filming vertical video and sending it to you?
Yeah, a lot of people still do that, despite that being one of the, you know, bolded points of our one pager that we put together. And it all depends, right? It's contextual. So yeah, you might be creating a video for, say, Instagram story, and you do want it to be vertical because then it fills the entire screen. And more people, right, are scrolling through their social feed on their phone in vertical mode. No one wants to kind of hold their phone in two hands, which is a strange phenomenon, but, you know, it's just the data shows that that's the case.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's so much context to what is the content, what's the purpose of the content, where is it being consumed, and you know, it's so funny. Like, I think there used to be a lot more, like with businesses and videos, it used to be a lot more like, we need a video to describe who we are. And now it's like, well, you need that, but like there's 8 other areas where you need to be using video. And, you know, the production techniques that you apply to some, like an explainer video, are very different than the production techniques you apply to, you know, social content or sales content or that kind of thing. And yeah, if something's going to be on, you know, even LinkedIn, which is, you know, a professional platform, but when you scroll through LinkedIn, you know, if you have a, you know, traditional video that we all love, you get a very small amount of screen space. I'll see if anybody's got some vertical video here. You actually grab a lot more screen space from somebody when you use vertical video, which is an interesting thing. It can grab a lot more. I know I've, just for personal fun stuff, have been doing a lot more vertical shooting, and I just do silly fun stuff, you know, just you know, video, you know, underwater scuba videos and videos of my kids and that kind of stuff that nobody outside of like me and my mom watch. But it's interesting. Like I've got the, side mount for my GoPro now. I actually shoot with my GoPro. I've got a Hero 8 and I shoot vertical, and it's very interesting. It's a different set of like rules. It's kind of a different challenge, which is kind of fun. Like it's not the traditional shots that like I'm kind of used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I came up as an old, like literally a camera operator and everything. So the idea of vertical video is like against my soul, and it kills me. And to be honest, like in the last couple of years, like the reality is like, I've started to get over it. Like it just, that's how we consume video now. It used to be, TV screens are wide because we have two eyes, and we see a lot wider than we see vertically, and it made a lot of sense. But it's the phone.
I think there's that new streaming service Quibi.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, and like I think a lot of the content they're doing is like
it's forced. I'm pretty sure it's forced vertical.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can't swap it.
Super.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check it out. It's super fascinating that their whole business model is now centered around this idea of people watching vertical content. I think one of their CEOs is Katzenberg, right, from DreamWorks.
Sure.
So obviously they have like industry, bigwigs kind of at the helm there. I imagine that they're looking at that data that shows people are watching video increasingly in vertical mode and making huge business decisions based on that. And they've invested, it looks like a huge amount. I mean, the amount of
they can't be all bad. They can't be all bad because they brought back Reno 911. So
yeah, there you go.
Oh man, that's a good show.
Man, I love that show, and it's like I said, I would actually would almost watch it there. I'm not quite there yet.
Although I don't know, when Netflix brought back Arrested Development, I was so excited, and then I watched it, and it was like, no.
Yeah, the wind out of the sails there.
Yeah,
I agree on that.
So we'll see. I mean, who knows what the future holds? But I mean, I've been seeing a lot of ads, like COVID-related ads from big brands, where I think creatively they made the decision to gather user-generated content in vertical mode and just like have the white background behind it. It gives it more of that authentic feeling, like you would expect to see someone's selfie video in horizontal or in vertical mode.
Well, this is something that we've looked at for a while, and I think it's just kind of a universal truth with social media marketing. It's just at some point there's a level of polish that literally creates less trust than like a kind of a raw, authentic, just selfie style video.
Right.
That's why we started recording these things as just conversations between people.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more, we don't know what we're going to be talking. Like we know what we're going to be talking about, but we don't know what we're going to say. Yeah. And a lot of our content that we used to put on our social channels, we would spend so many hours to dial on this and get it all perfect. And then it's like you get on screen and you're like, "Hi, I'm Nathaniel with ProMAX," and it was just bad, and the content, like what we actually say, is the same in both things. But when we've actually made it a little bit more casual, like it's just it's much more watchable and engaging, but it's just a lot more natural. And
it's funny because it's like if you're familiar with the uncanny valley concept, it's almost the same kind of thing when you look at trust versus post-production. Like the lower the post-production, the trust starts to go up to a point where it looks a little too good, and then you're like, this is marketing, and then your trust goes down, and then at some point it's cinema level, and you're like, cool.
But then I think that's where a lot of like brand, like advertising, B2C brand content then needs to like go past that into like legitimately filmed, high production quality.
Yeah.
You get an actual ad that's crappy quality, unless it's like a one guy marketing agency or something, you're going to look at them. They have no budget for this? What is going on here?
So Patrick, you were talking earlier about some of the challenges and how you've had to coach people through and some of the issues that come in collecting some of that footage. We've actually developed a new product called NextFrame that we're getting ready to take into a beta test. Nathaniel, do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about what this product does and how it kind of solves some of these problems that we talked about?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, I would definitely just go to promax.com/nextframe and check out the explainer video. That's more succinct than I am. But the basic idea is, you know, it's really strong for user-generated content. You know, it's really strong for, you know, I can see it being used in customer testimonials, in content like this. Because we've been generating this kind of social content within our team for a long time. But the basic idea is, you know, Matt, you as a marketer can create a project and assign, you know, Brian, Patrick, and myself to that. And then you can say like, okay, here's the 5 questions, send that out. And then we've got an app that we, you know, oh, the question is, you know, when do you use cell phone footage? When do you send a production crew? And then Patrick, you're able to just see that question in the app, hit record, answer that question, stop, of course, review it and do all that stuff. But essentially just kind of to help keep people on topic. That's one of the hard parts here. So, you know, you can send a bunch of questions out to a bunch of people, help keep them on topic. But then the other side of it, which, you know, I think Patrick and Brian, you guys were touching on this, just the getting rid of that hassle of like, you know, here's this Dropbox or this Google Drive or this shared folder. It will all just automatically upload that from within the app. And then that way, Matt, you just assign those questions to the rest of us. We answer the questions, we hit submit. And then, you know, Patrick, Brian, and I are out. And Matt, you can log in and download all of the like kind of think of it as pre-sub clipped because it's all kind of separate clips. So you don't have to, as a marketer, you don't have to go through and like find, you know, cut out the 10 different questions. They're just already sub clipped for you. So that's what, you know, that's the basic idea. There's, you know, a lot of ways we can go with it, but the beta is pretty much launching now. So I think there's a beta link if I'm not mistaken there, right, Matt?
Yes, there's definitely a place to sign up. My camera battery died, so now we switched to the phone. I'm recording this on my phone now.
That's amazing.
So this is how it works. Yeah, if you want to check out the beta, it's going to be on promax.com/nextframe. You can sign up now, check out that explainer video, and check it out. It's going to be really cool. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us from another week of ProMAX Tech Talks. I'm Matt, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.